Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope that you all are fine at home, right? So, today we are going to start lesson 4 from your new James English Reader book of class 7. And the name of the lesson is 3 at Table, and it is written by William Wymark Jacobs. Children, this story is about the strange incident which a sailor is narrating to his friends when they were talking in the coffee room about ghosts. So the sailor shared his unpleasant incident in his life. He started narrating the incident, saying that I was a young man at the time. I had just come back from China. My family was away, so I invited myself to stay with an uncle. When I reached the place, I found it closed, so I decided to put up at the Royal George, a very decent inn. Means he decided to stay at the Royal George Hotel, and it was very decent hotel. So the next morning after a late breakfast, I set off for a brisk day's walk. The day was bright and frosty. I lunched luxuriously and decided to go a little further before turning back. But by evening, when the light started to draw, I lost my way. I walked so long and shouted around to find someone. Finally, I found a man, and the narrator inquired him about the route and distance. Asheville. The man guided him, but he warned the narrator about the only house that can be seen. He said to the narrator that there is something scary, not very common and pleasant, and he discouraged the narrator from going to the house. Later, the narrator had no choice but to knock on that door to inquire about the route. The door opened suddenly, and a tall, bony old woman holding a candle stood before him. And she asked me, who narrator, what do you want? I said, I want to get to Asheville. The old woman said, I don't know it. She was about to close the door when a man emerged from a room at the side of the hall and came towards us and said, Asheville is 15 miles far. So the narrator said, if you will direct me to the nearest village, I shall be grateful to you. The old man said, the nearest place is 3 miles off, and asked to the man, if you will give me the pleasure of your good company, I will make you as comfortable I can. So the narrator hesitated. They were certainly a strange looking couple, and the gloomy hall with the shadow thrown by the candle means the room was dark. He entered the room, but the room was only lighted with candle. You are very kind, I murmured. Means he whispered in a slow voice that you are very kind. Come in, he said quickly. Shut door, Annie. Almost before I knew it, it was standing inside. I followed my host, who followed narrator, followed his host into the room and taking the chair, warmed his frozen finger at the fire. Dinner will be soon be ready, said the old man. I bowed and he left the room. A minute later, I heard his and the old woman's voices, and I fancied means full of desires. A third. What he heard? That who was that third man? Before I had finished my inspection, means before he finished his inspection of the room, he returned and announced. Who returned? Old man returned and announced, there will be three of us at dinner. Means for the dinner there will be three. We two and my son. I suppose you don't mind dining in the dark. And he asks to the man that you will don't mind dining in the dark. Not at all, the narrator replied, hiding by surprise. But really he was afraid and said, I am intruding, means I am inviting myself without my permission. If you will allow me. He waved his huge hands. It's seldom we have company, and he was saying that it's rare that we have such company because my son's eyes are bad and he can't stand the light. The old woman entered and began to lay the cloth, while my host, taking a chair the other side of the fireplace, sat looking silently into the fire. The table set, the old woman placed three chairs and the left the room. And she left the room after placing the chair. The old man rose from his chair. So the old man stand up from his chair and placed a large screen in front of the fire and slowly put out the candles. Blindsman Holiday, he said. Who was saying this? The old man, son. And groping his way means feeling his way with his hands. Came back into the room with him and took a seat at the table. He came with his father, means old man, and took a seat at the table. The strangest voice I have ever heard broke silence. A cold night, it said slowly. Who said? The blind man. Yes, I replied. It was somewhat difficult eating in the dark, and it was obvious from the behavior of my invisible companions that they were not used to dining under such circumstances as I was. We ate in silence until the old woman came into the room with some sweets. Are you a stranger here? Inquired the curious voice again. And the blind man asked, are you stranger here? So the narrator replied, yes. There was something so strange about the whole business. I could see a pair of wild eyes and shining like a cat. So, with a growing sense of uneasiness, I pushed my chair back. I caught the rug, and in my efforts to disentangle it, means untangle to untangle or free. The screen in front of the fire fell over with a crash, and the screen that the old man placed, it fell over with a crash. In the flickering light of the fire, the narrator saw the face of the creature opposite. Man or beast, means a man, or beast means animal. Which was it? He got scared. In the mere red glow of the fire, the face looked more devilish than before. I beg your pardon, said I, but I have accidentally overturned the screen. Allow me to replace it. So the old man said, no, gently. Let it be. We have had enough of the dark. I will give you a light. So he struck a match stick and slowly lit the candle. Then the narrator saw the man opposite had a jaunt, means thin and bony, weird face with only one eye. And then he saw a blind man, his son, old man's son. He was having only a one eye. So the old man said to the narrator, my son was injured some years ago in a burning house. Since then we have lived a very retired lives, and said that after that incident we are living retired life. When you come to the door, his voice trembled. I thought, said the son, that it would be better for me not to come to the dinner table, and the his son said that it would be better for me that I should not join to you at the dinner table, but it happens to be my birthday. Because it was my birthday, so my father would not hear of my dining alone, so we hit upon this foolish plan of dining in the dark. I'm sorry I startled you, and asked sorry to the narrator that I frightened you. So the narrator said, no, no, I am sorry, as I reached across the table and gripped his hand, and that I am such a fool, but it was only in the dark that you startled me. And said, because it was dark, that's why I got startled while seeing you. It's not your fault, it's my mistake that I got scared while seeing you. We never see a friend, said the old man. And the old man said, we never see a friend because my son is having a disfigured face, so all were getting afraid in the village, so we don't have any company. Besides, I don't know what else you could have done. We were soon as merry a party as I have ever seen. Means we were soon cheerful and lively, because we haven't seen such party ever. The night passed by rapidly. Like that, the night passed slowly. We could hardly believe our ears when, during a lull in the conversation, means a period of silence in the conversation. A last toast before we retired, said host. The old man rose and gazed proudly at his disfigured son. And the old man stand up and he looked proudly at his disfigured son and said, to the health of the children, to save the life of the children, my son injured himself. Like that, the story and children, I hope that you all have understood the story. So I will send you the video also, so that you can understand the story clearly. Till then, stay safe and healthy at home. Thank you.